In our seasonal range, we started with 4 celebration wheels, so spring, summer, autumn, winter, and they were designed for our family because I love having a table centre. For me, it was a beautiful part of their early childhood, and we still do it now as a practice, even though they're older. We have just a place on the table, really simple, with a candle in the middle. I made these wheels that house the candle right in the centre, so you can put a tea light or a bigger candle, you can put many candles or a collection of characters, a gnome that walks around, and it takes the child from the beginning of that season to the end. So the spring season starts off with bulbs and crocuses and all of those beautiful celebrations, and then Pancake Day and Chinese New Year, everything that's going on in spring, and it walks round and round and round until you get to Easter in the middle. And then the summer wheel picks up where that left off and goes from the maypole through to the St. John's Fire, right through to the summer equinox. And it peppers the year really in these 4 quarters, spring, summer, autumn, winter. And it's really interesting that my oldest daughter, now 12, in her physics is now doing hemispheres, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, suns, orbits, all of that scientific learning. That's rooted in understanding the seasons. So when she's thinking about when the longest day is, how much sunshine there is, she's relating that back to what do we do in the summertime? Oh, we did St. John's Fire. That was a really sunny day. It went on for ages. And it's a celebration then of the longest day. So I really see now with an older child that the learning that they did in this foundational time in the really young years just relates immediately back to, you know, the in England, the pre-GCSE time. So we have these 4 wheels, and then we have the wheel of the year and the perpetual calendar, and they go all the way around. They teach the days of the week and the months of the year. And then we've just introduced a new nature table, again to celebrate those seasons, but for the position that I find our home in now, a smaller space where I want to have the seasons inside. The kids aren't in the woods all the time anymore, but they do bring in treasures, and I want there to be a special place for that. And so this little nature table you can change out the backdrop to it. It immediately engages their imagination. It's got all these beautiful elemental characters and animals and flora and fauna of the seasons. So you can have educational conversations around it. But you also have this place where if you've just started with a younger child and you don't know how to build a nature table, you can start with this tool, and then you can build up cloths and characters and stories around it as you might see in a kindergarten. Or if you're the other end of that childhood journey and the children are transitioning into perhaps a less ethereal realm and they want something a little more smaller, grown up, less soft, then it's a great space for that as well. So I hope it really stays with families right through that arc of those childhood years. And that was a wonderful project to work on. And the base will be a base that we can use actually for any of the wheels. So it'll house anything, but we're going to redesign it so they'll be coming later in the year, and another version of it that just houses the circular wheels as well. And then we've just developed this big classroom range, which are those seasonal wheels, but much larger for a classroom environment. And all of that is grounded in the fact that I believe we're kind of rhythm-based people, and that we landed here and we've got this great skeleton, if you like, a way of living that allows us to feel very safe because we see it in the natural world. So we might want to be quite quiet in winter, and the trees are quiet. You know, the woodlands are quieter in wintertime, and then in springtime, full of ideas and energy, and it's buzzing, and the world is buzzing, and you want to reach out, and it all gets very exciting. And then so I think we have this great breathing in and breathing out in nature that if we do inwardly, then it becomes a real strength, not just in childhood, but as a practice as a parent as well.